Hi everyone, Lori here, and looking forward to our practice today. Today we're going to be focusing on hips. When we think of hips, this is the place in our body where we tend to hold on to things, where we think we have control. And clearly we don't have control. We only have control over what we do and how we adapt and obviously become more receptive to the things we do have control over. In these areas, in these times when we don't know what's going to be next, sometimes we just have to let go and do what we can do. And when we focus on this, the element that's associated with this piece is also water. And water is both resilient and persistent. So if we can find a way to open up these areas in our body, we actually allow the channel of these things to let go. When we let go, we get much less disappointed because our expectations are only ones that we can control. So as we go through our practice today in the hip opening exercises, you may find emotions bubbling up, and that's okay. It's okay to feel and heal. So our focus will be on hip openers and stability. So just as much as we have to let go of things, we need to stabilize on the things that we can control. So that's our practice today. Hope you enjoy it. I'm trying this new audio with my headphones just to be a little more closer to you. All right, so let's get onto our mats and start our practice. So as we come into our mats, I want you to just join in stabilizing from the ground up. So come into Tadasana. Arms are just to either side of the body. Shoulders are relaxed. There's a sense of arrival. So arrive with your breath completely. Inhale and exhale. And just continue to feel your inhalation and your exhalation. Go ahead and close your eyes just for a breath and enjoy again becoming that very stable source of energy from your feet up to your knees, into your hips, into your torso, into your shoulders, drawing that energy as you inhale to broaden the front body, and as you exhale to lengthen your spine. And just imagine yourself for a moment almost floating, like the buoyancy of water, feeling a bit weightless right now. Draw your arms to either side and just push the walls away. Push the walls away. Expand through the shoulder blades. Feel the muscles around your arms going towards the bones. And then let your arms float all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center and perhaps set an intention today. This one being of what it is you can let go of and what it is you have full control of. Draw an inhalation all the way up. And then exhale, go ahead and take a forward fold. Bend your knees significantly so you feel the spread of your vertebrae. So let your head, chin, and shoulders relax. As you push down into your fingertips, lift your sitting bones up. And then inhale, come halfway up. As you draw your tailbone up and away, feel how your hamstrings provide length, almost like you're pulling a string. And then exhale, fold forward again. Bend your knees, scoop your body down and up, and come into a little bit of an intense pose. Not too much, just enough that you can feel your quads, your glutes, everything that surrounds your hips becoming a little more obvious. Exhale, come up again, all the way. Feel the stretch of the body. And then float yourself all the way up again with the hands. Draw your hands to heart center and pause. Notice the rate of your heart and the whole essence of yourself arriving again. You're going to draw your hands to either side and go ahead and walk yourself up to the top of your mat. I've added flowers today because I wanted to get a little inspiration of growth. Reminding yourself that flowers come from the ground up, particularly the lotus flower that grows and puts itself deep into the mud to arise as a beautiful offering to the earth. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Go ahead and inhale and float halfway up. Exhale and fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, scoop the body all the way up. Hands come to heart center, warming the body up again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, scoop down and around. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. With the knees bent, I want you to take that right knee down and back. And then inhale, come up in a low lunge, offering the heart up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to either side of the foot. Now you're going to push off the arms and the legs, and you're going to draw that leg back and bring the hips to heels. Inhale, lift here. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Pause. Hands come to your hips. Go ahead and find them with your hands, your fingers. Feel them. Inhale, lift up. And this time bring the right foot forward. Inhale, come up in the low lunge here. Exhale, draw your hands to either side of your foot again. And then push into your foot in your hands to bring the knee back under the hips. Inhale, come into a seat, hands to heart center. Pause for a breath. And then exhale. You're going to come into tabletop here. Just evolving your motions, bringing your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. And go ahead and awaken a cat and a cow. So bring your belly in and up and exhale. And then inhale, draw the heart high and lift into cow. And then float into that beautiful kind of flow of the cat and cow. Make it obvious that your hips are involved by swinging the tailbone, rocking it like a rocking chair. And then slowly float back into tabletop. You're going to just take that right foot and extend it out. Grab your mat with the round toes, so you're pushing deeply in the toes. Stay here for a breath. Pause. You're going to take that same leg and kick it out, so almost on a wide stance. So the foot is well off the mat. There's an increased energy coming from the arms. Push deeply. Lift that leg all the way up and around and cross it behind the other leg. Look over the shoulder and see your foot. So really awakening that C shape in the body. And then inhale, draw that foot back to center. Push into the foot and then come back to kneeling. In tabletop, so initiate that beautiful movement through the body in cat and cow again. Recognize that today we arrive. Today we allow ourselves to let go and feel powerful. Pause here for a breath. Take the left foot back and just push into the ball of the foot. Energize the leg. Feel it come up through the leg into the hip. Take that leg all the way to the outside of your mat and pause here. Give a little thought to where your thigh bone is in comparison to your hips. And then you're going to inhale that leg all the way up and around. Drop it to the opposite side. Look over your shoulder and feel that beautiful opening on the outside of that left leg. Take that leg, bring it all the way up again. Tap it down. And then bring yourself to cat and cow by drawing the knee under the hip again. And then just pause here. You're going to bring your elbows to where your hands are. Interlace your fingers and just draw your head to the ground. So coming into a little strength in the shoulders, just pushing into the arms, recognizing that the toes now come to curling under. And you're just going to lift your knees off the ground to come into a dolphin pose. So just using the upper body to recognize the strength of the back body
And we're going to call on it the entire practice. Move your feet in a little closer if you want to stretch the hamstrings in a way that feels a little different. And then go ahead and drop your knees to the ground. Bring your hands back under your shoulders and back to tabletop. Go ahead and bring your hips to your heels again. Come into seated. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw yourself back up. Right foot comes forward. Curl the back toe under. Lift the knee off the ground and step forward in tall mountain. Hands come down to either side. Inhale the arms all the way up and then draw your hands to heart center. Finding strength in the hips, finding strength in the legs allows us to tune into the area in our body that is calling to let go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Take that right foot, bring it back. Toe heel the left out to the side. Bring your hands to your hips and walk yourself up. So we're in a high lunge here. I'd like you to inhale the arms all the way up and pause. In this high lunge, we're going to practice strengthening through the hips and the legs. You're going to drop it down just a little bit. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Pause here. Now take that back leg and really lengthen it. Bring your hands to the hips. Draw it down just a little further. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, come back down. Keep pushing into that front big toe. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, push back down again. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale the arms all the way back up. Come into that high lunge again. Feel the strength of your hips. Pull your inner thighs together. Bring your arms to either side of the foot. Bend the back leg. And then step forward, forward, forward. Inhale, float halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. You're going to take the left foot now and slide it back. Toe heel the right foot out. Walk yourself up and come into high lunge on this side. Okay, move the rib cage over the hips and then just lengthen through the legs. So really feel that big mound of the big toe in the front foot. Inhale, lift here. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips as you draw your body down. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, push. Feel the legs respond to needing to be strong. Inhale, lift again. Exhale. This time, inhale and just keep the legs where they are. Bring the arms overhead. Come into that high lunge again. Practice the strength required here. And then exhale, bring your hands to either side of your foot. Bend the back leg and then step forward, forward, fold. Go ahead, inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Bring your hands to the ground. So coming into a flow. Hands are on the ground. You're pushing down as though you're already in plank. Take the right leg back and then the left. Coming into high push-up. Option to be on your knees in low push-up. Exercising the strength of the upper body. Go ahead and draw yourself down and scoop up. Come into cobra. Hands will float off the ground to respond to the strength in the back. Put your fingers down to the ground. Draw your knuckles to the ground. Curl the toes under. Come to tabletop. And then downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, imagine the spine being one long line from the tailbone to the crown of your head. Engage. As you bend the knees, I want you to take that left foot and lift it up to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, lift the knee, stack the hips. So think about the length in both sides of your body. The torso is long. Both hands are equally weighted. And then come back to downward facing dog. Right leg to the ceiling, big reach here. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Feel both sides of your body as long. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, downward facing dog.
Take a giant stretch here. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, send your thigh bones back. And then exhale, draw yourself down with the heels. Bend the knees, look at the top of your mat, walk, step, or jump forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Go ahead and take that beautiful, beautiful sun. Bring it to your heart and feel yourself grow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Feel the strength and length in the back of your legs. Bend the knees. You're going to take that right foot back, and then you're going to drop the back heels. Coming into warrior one legs. Just an awesome, awesome opening through the hips. Draw yourself up, look up, be strong. Push into the back, pinky toe, the front big toe, and just bring your hands to your hips to start. If you want to feel a little more opening, then bring that back hip forward. Just kind of use your hand to tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, rise to your first warrior. Pause here and draw breath to the body. Stay here, or you can open up into a little back extension. So you're taking the arms up, front body is stretched, and then draw your hands to heart center. Draw your hands to either side of the foot. Pick up the back heel. Bring your hands to the ground. This time you're going to take that front foot, swing it back to downward facing dog. Stretch your hamstring. Use every opportunity you have to lengthen the body. Feel the connection of your thigh bone to your hip. Bend the knees. Look at the top of your mat. This time you're going to step forward with the right foot. Left heel comes down. Pull the bones away from each other. Hands to your hips. Rising here. Arms lift up into warrior one on this side. Again, exhale. Bring your hands to your hips again. Go ahead and coax that back hip forward, just using the protection of your hands. It helps. Inhale, lift again. Pause here. Or open up the heart and take a full extension into the slight back bend. Exhale, bring your hands back to either side of your foot. Pick up the back heel and then step forward in forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the ground and then walk, step, or jump back into your plank. Coming into the strong, strong core. Always tapping into the strength from anywhere in our body. Knees or toes, it doesn't matter. Send the heart down, scoop up, come into cobra or upward facing dog. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Again, opening up through the hips. Take the right leg, extend it. Stack the hips again, open up, make both arms equally weighted. Come back, take the knee under the body, pause. Exhale, kick it out and up. Do that one more time. Bring it back under the body and pause. Exhale, kick it back and out. Come back, downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump forward into forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. And draw your hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the ground. Walk, step, and jump back into push-up. Remind yourself that you can be strong here as much as you want. You can take one or two little push-ups, or you can pause and then join in cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the ceiling. Reach up and then stack your hips. Scoop down around, bring the knee under the body and pause. Exhale, scoop down and kick back into that twist. Come back with the knee under the body and pause. Exhale, back and around. Pause here. Come back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look at the top of your mat. Walk, step, or jump forward into forward fold. Let the head, shoulders, neck relax. Hang on to your elbows and just swing the body side by side. Reconcile the heart rate. Let go. Understand that what changes around us will continue to change around us, but here we are enough. You are enough. Release the arm. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then draw your hands to heart center. Pause here for a full breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. As you bend the knees, I want you to take the right knee down and back and keep the left foot forward. So you're going to come into a big stretch for the hip. Now I want you to toe heel that foot out to the side. Bring your left hand onto your left knee. It's kind of stacking the joints here. And then take your right rib cage, scoop it under your left, and just pause. So feel that little tug in that bottom knee, the bottom leg, the bottom hip. Pause here. And then if you like, lift the arm all the way up. Now keep the heart wide open. Push deeply into the foot. And then you're going to take that arm, scoop it all the way down to the inside of the foot. Walk the hands out in front of you. Pause here. Option to drop down to your knees. Option to curl the toe under and lift your knee off the ground. Wherever you are, try hard to keep the hips side by side. So if you're lifting off the knee and that's kind of giving you a twist, try to just stay on the back knee. Pause here. Option to be up on the hands as well. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let your hips settle. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let your hips settle. Toe heel that foot back out. Bring yourself back onto your hands if you're on your elbows. Curl the back toe under. Lift your knee off the ground. Pause here. Take your hands to either side of the foot. You're going to take that left foot, swing it back into downward facing dog as we come to the other side. Go ahead and come onto your knees. Swing the right foot forward and pause. Take your right hand onto your right knee and then scoop the left rib cage under the right. Feel yourself twisting at the back. We did twist the other day. Feels good. Option to bring the arm way overhead. And as you exhale, scoop that arm forward to the inside of that foot again. Toe heel the foot out to the side. Walk the hands forward. You can stay here. There's still quite a stretch. Make sure that back hip is drawing down, and you can come down to your elbows. You can curl the toe under, lift your knee off the ground. Find what works for you, and listen to your body. What is it telling you? It's probably something like, thank you. Hold here for another breath. Inhale. Exhale. Wherever you are, walk yourself back onto your hands. Pick up the knee. Take your hands to either side of the foot to be framed. Take that front foot. Swing it back. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and take the hips all the way up to the sky, coming into one of my favorite poses, dropping to the knees. Okay, so you're going to take your knees apart and pause here. Now take your feet and make them just kind of come towards the knees. And you're just going to bring your elbows to the ground. So coming into frog pose. Now don't be afraid to adjust here. So you can take your knees out a little wider. It doesn't really matter. You're going to flex your feet so the blade of your feet are on the inside. If this is too much for you, then just keep yourself on your knees and just bring your hips up high. Okay, so if you're coming into frog pose fully, you'll curl the toes under, bring your knees out, and just drop to the inside of your feet. Now you're going to stay here for a full breath. Another good option here is to bring yourself up onto your hands. You're just going to pause here for a moment. So here, the hip bones are externally rotated from your hip, from the inside. Okay, wherever you are, pause here for another full breath. Exhale, find a little calmness in the chaos. And to come out of this pose, you're going to curl your toes under, lift the knees, come onto them, and then float yourself all the way up into tabletop. Go ahead and bring your tailbone up and around, come into cat and cow, and just feel a beautiful, beautiful opening through the spine. And just pause. Come to your heels and just sit in a moment of receiving. In your hips lies deep, deep emotion. In your hips lies the ability to let go. Consider this more than holding on. Clinging and feeling possession is a detriment to feeling lightness in our heart. In this moment, let go. Let go of your judgment for yourself, maybe in this practice. Let go of the judgment of what to do next and just be. Inhale. Exhale. And just release. All right. You're going to slide yourself off of your knees and coming onto our feet. Okay, so coming right into our feet. You're going to come onto your elbows and just pause here. Okay, coming into a little bit of stability in the hips. You're just going to take that front leg and let it float. So that leg is just kind of there, really holding on through the hips. Lift your heart, feel a little more control here. So you're going to take your leg and make sure that it's internally rotated. Okay, pause here. And then take the other leg and just bring it up. You're just going to pause here for a second. So really calling on the core to help the hips and stabilize the core. Inhale here. Take one leg and extend. Take the other leg and extend. Pause here. Okay, so using everything around the midsection, take one heel, draw it down, and let it hover. And then inhale, bring it back up. Option to keep your knee bent, just tap down with the heel and then bring it back up. Okay, so you can be long or you can be short. Either way, it's an exercise through the core. Keep lifting through your shoulders, long or short. One more time. Back leg comes down, tap the heel, lift it up. Front leg comes down, tap it, and lift it up. Bring the knees to the chest, drop your feet, lift your heart just a little higher, and then walk you back up to your hands. Okay? So you're going to bring your feet out a little more. So that was a big strengthening piece for our hips and our core. You're going to take the left leg, cross it over the right. Okay, so just lifting up tall. Stay here. Now you're going to kind of try to fold the body to open up the hips. So external rotation again. Bring your leg a little closer and just keep coming up just to the point where you can flex your foot, let it be long, and extend through the spine. Good. Take a breath here. Exhale. And then draw, bend the elbows, uncross the legs, lengthen them again because each side's going to be a little different. Take the right ankle, cross it over the left. I know this is my side that's tighter. Okay, and then bring the foot back together and just start extending the arms just to the point where you can. Okay, flex the foot, make sure that it's safe to protect the knee this way. Relax your face. Inhale.
Exhale. Good. Pause here for another breath. Start to bend the elbows again. Walk the leg out, uncross. A pretty simple way to stretch through. Okay, you're going to come onto your elbows, but bring your feet a little closer to your body. So you're going to bring your back onto the ground. Feel the base of your heels. And then you're going to just push into all four corners of your feet. Start to lift your hips up and just come into a little mini bridge. Okay, so here the hips start to widen. Now, if you could take your fingers and put them onto your hip bones here, so like your middle finger, your second finger, and then take your thumbs to the lowest rib cage. I want you to feel how wide that is, maybe like thinking that that's a tape measure. Now, keep the distance between your fingers the same, and then draw your hips down. Okay, so that's a really nice anchor, a nice way to keep that width from the hips to the rib cage. Push down into your feet again, lift up again, pause here. Chin is tucked in. Now you're going to just squeeze the back side of your body a little more. So your glutes, your back body are all going to come in. You're going to pause here. So a little work for the back side of the body while stretching the front side. You're going to just take the hips a little higher, pause here. Okay, now option, you can stay here. This is a pretty great way to feel the legs opening up through the front. We can go to full bridge. Bring your hands under your body, interlace the fingers. Draw your shoulders closer together, lift the hips up, and tuck your chin in only slightly, just to keep the the back of your neck long. You can stay here. You are also stabilizing with the squeezing of the back body. Option, pick up the right heel, pick up the left. It's a little longer. If you can keep your hips side by side, not dropping either, pick up the front knee. Strength and stretch. Good. Drop that toe back down to the ground. Keep your hips side by side. If you can keep them side by side, pick up the back knee. Pause here. And then drop the toes again. Unwrap the hands. Drop to the heels. And then bring your glutes, your back body down. Untuck your shoulders. Arms come to T or to cactus. And you're just going to keep your knees to the ceiling and now just windshield wiper back and forth. So the idea of bringing your knees to your chest actually is a little counterintuitive to that kind of a front stretch of the body. Better to take the twist in the spine. And just pause at each side. Good. Lengthen the legs. Lengthen the legs. Okay, you're going to take your right foot, cross it over your left. Take your left foot and bring it to the left corner of your mat. Bring your arms overhead and then just take that C shape in the body. So take your shoulders over, grab onto your right wrist and just feel a little tug. This is a great way of introducing a fascial stretch on the side body. It's almost like you're pulling your your skin so that you can feel under your skin into the fascia, into the muscles. Try hard to keep your shoulders on the mat. Inhale here. Exhale fully. And then come back to center. Bring it all back to center. Good. You're going to pause here for a breath. Take your left ankle over your right. Move your right feet over to the corner of your mat. Grab onto your left wrist and then move the body over back into that C shape, feeling the tug now on this side of your body. Beautiful side stretch, bringing in the fascia, reminding the body that letting go is about absorbing what we can control, what is in us. Take a deep breath in. Feel the release as you exhale. And then come back to center. Hey, if you'd like, just bring your knees back and take a back and forth with the knees, windshield wipering them over. Okay, maybe bring your knees to the outside now
And then grab the inside of your feet, coming into happy baby. This feels good. A nice release. Keep trying to tuck your tailbone down. Release your shoulders. Good. And then just drop your feet back to the ground. Extend your legs. Extend your torso. And as you come into your final posture in our practice, Shavasana, I'm just going to take you through a short meditation in through the body and practicing our own sense of arrival. So as you float down into the ground, as you become relaxed, just join in every cell of your body. From the crown of your head, feel maybe a little trickle, a little exclamation point, bringing you into the present moment again. Notice the space between your ears, the looseness of your jaw, the relaxed nature of your throat. Notice the wideness of your collarbone as it extends to your shoulders and to your heavy arms. Let even the tips of your fingers receive the nod of relaxation. Notice how your chest, your torso, your rib cage all feel in this moment. Consider the space surrounding your organs. Come to the very essence of our practice today, our hips. Think of the pelvis almost like a cup ready to receive, and the intricacies of our thigh bones connecting to our pelvis, and the space, the generosity that you've given between these bones. Think of the heaviness of your legs, the beauty of the mechanisms of your knees, your ankles, and your toes. And for another brief moment, draw your breath in. And as you exhale, release what you can no longer hold on to. Inhale all the goodness and exhale the rest. And then slowly let your fingers and your toes come into a little more animation. Your wrists and your ankles, and stirring your torso ever so much. You can go ahead and take your arms overhead and take a giant long stretch through the meridian of your body. And then exhale, go ahead and capture your legs towards your chest and pause here. In this moment, feel the embrace of your own body. Imagine, picture it of all those around you. And although we cannot physically hold each other, imagine this hug as one that goes out to all. Squeeze a little tighter. And then just draw your hands behind your legs. And then float yourself up into a seated posture where we'll end our practice. And coming to the seat of our body. Inhale the light, exhale the darkness, and know that they exist together. And what we have, what we truly have, is the light that we share together. With your hands to heart center and with the deepest of gratitude to you. Namaste. Thank you so much, and I look forward to our next practice together. Have a great day. Bye for now.